I'm running late. I actually haven't even done my morning yoga yet. I've meditated, I've done my breath work and meditated, but I have not done my yoga. Normally I do 2 rounds of yoga. Early, right after I meditate. And then after I work out, sort of offer myself a reset after I work out. But I slept in this morning. I was not out of bed. Well, I didn't wake up until about 3 o'clock, a little after 3. I just needed it. Weeks and weeks worth of late nights well under the weather. And my body just said, stay in bed a little bit longer. Hey, Jace. Jace says, poop howdy, my friend. So, upon request, we're going to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness from the perspective of A Course in Miracles, which I'm going to bring up on my desktop right now. As mentioned before, I'm going to make a few changes in my channel. Very much enjoyed the hey Cat and Jack, good morning. I very much enjoyed doing the code live streaming, and I want to keep that up because I love talking to everyone. But I feel like I've drifted away from the message of my channel, the entire reason why I decided to do this, which is to talk about the stuff that I talk about at my 5 a.m. And I want to talk about that all the way across. But also have fun, also be spontaneous, talk about whatever. But the main theme is forgiveness. The main theme is happiness. The main theme is unity. The main theme is all the stuff that we talk about, you know. That includes YouTube channels. Because, as I talked about with Jace before, as we talk about often, that YouTube has been a great source of unity. We've been able to come together. Different channels with different messages, but all come together to form this great community that just keeps expanding. How do we keep that up? You know, that kind of stuff. But I had a few people reach out and say, can you talk about this or can you talk about that? And I realized that I'm just not giving much time talking about that lately. At least in my later discussions, conversations that we have. So I need to get back to it. As mentioned before, I was up late. So I slept in, so I'm still drinking my morning coffee. Hey, Jamie. So, forgiveness from the perspective of A Course in Miracles. Forgiveness is literally asking for a miracle. A miracle is a mind shift. It's asking for a change of perception. Can I see things differently than I do now? If we are seeking to forgive, if we are seeking forgiveness, hey Ryan, it means we're hurt. If we're hurt, we are living in fear. Course in Miracles starts off right from the beginning saying that only love is real. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's fear, except that which is all-encompassing can have no opposite. So if we are experiencing fear in any way, it's an illusion. A lot of people think, how can it be an illusion if I'm afraid of a attacking bear? If I am afraid of violence, if I am afraid of losing my savings. There's a difference. Psychological fear is fear of something that is not happening yet, but we think might, or something that happened in the past that we think might happen again. Being attacked by a bear isn't fear, it's reaction, and it's a safe reaction. You want to react when you're chased by a bear, I would assume. having never been chased by a bear. My father was chased by a bear when he was a kid. Brian says, I saw your post about having coffee with the water. Is that the property that you're on? Coffee with the... which post was that, Ryan? Coffee with the water. I'm not sure which one that is, Ryan. So, all forgiveness is asking to be released from fear, from the psychological fear that we find ourselves gripped in. That's it. It's not bestowing it upon another person. It's not saying, I forgive you because you've suffered enough. I forgive you because I want something in return, or I want you to forgive me because I've earned it. It's not that at all. It's simply a shift in perception where you're letting yourself free. You're removing all the ties, all the ties. Oh, happily sipping coffee. Yep, that's where I am right now, at my desk. Happily sipping coffee. Yep, that pond is the pond that I walk by every day and have forever. I'm in a house that I inherited from my parents. After my divorce, I moved back here to be a caregiver for my father and my mom. And when they passed away, my brother and I inherited the house. I got a beautiful pond, less than a quarter mile from my house. The pond has geese and ducks, blue herons, green herons, an occasional night heron. Occasionally has a beaver. I'm surrounded by deer, fox, hawks. I saw an eagle a couple weeks ago. Owls, always seeing owls in the morning. An occasional coyote. Last year we had a bear wander through. Hey, Nightmare. Nightmare says, good morning, people. How you been, Nightmare? So I'm still sipping my morning coffee. Happily so. What Ryan is referring to is my post this morning. I used to struggle writing. Some mornings I'd wake up greatly inspired and I would write and write and write. But I was always afraid that I might wake up and have nothing to write about and I might struggle. There might be no inspiration. But over the past several years, I'm content. Just content. The words show up when the words show up. And whatever words show up is what I write. And if they don't show up, I'm just happily sipping my coffee, sitting in silence. Nightmare says, not long to go now, Eric. For what? For Christmas? What are we waiting for, Nightmare? Tandra says, quick good morning, Yogi. I'm on a loop. Update 12:43. 12:43. We are so close to halfway there. With 5 days being held back. Excuse me, guys. I had Tandra playing all yesterday. I will have Tandra playing all today. As a matter of fact, I'm bringing her loop up right now. Let's see. Yep, Santa. Hey, Mary Max is up on Tandra's. I'm reading Tandra's live stream. Hey, Mike. Ryan says, you do any fishing, Yogi? I grew up fishing. Loved it when I was a kid. Not anymore. It's been several decades. So at 12:43, with 5 days held back, so we know we're over 13. We know we're over 13. By the end of the week, we could easily be at 14. Man, who knows? I don't want to put any set expectations. Let's just keep helping each other out. If you guys have some free time today, can you watch a playlist for Tandra and help her get to her 3,000 watch hours? She's got great playlist. So you can just click on a playlist, have it play through the day. Hey, Jace, you going live in a little bit? Tanya says I'm on holiday until after Christmas, so we'll be able to do more in the coming weeks. Nice. Awesome. Tanya says, thanks, Yogi. Absolutely. Happy to. As well. Anyone here? How can we help you? You know? What is there anything that you guys want to accomplish on your channels? Can we help you in a way? And not just YouTube channels. Hey, do you guys want to learn how to meditate? Do you guys want a breath work program that you can do every day? Let me know. I'll teach you absolutely for free. So anyway, a friend asked, how do we forgive? You talk about forgiveness all the time. How do we forgive? We don't. And by we, I mean our ego. The ego will never truly forgive because the ego identifies itself through differences, through conflict, through comparison, through contradictions. The ego needs all of that to solidify its identity as who we are. But we are not the ego. Hey, Night Watcher. How are you? So why use the ego to attempt something that is impossible for it? Ryan says, I might need some breath work to clear my mind for making my fantasy football picks this playoff. You got it. Reach out to me. Send me a message on Facebook, Ryan. How's your team doing? Night Watcher says, I'm good, Yogi. How's school going for you, Night Watcher? Sorry, guys. That last sip of coffee. In my ancient coffee mug. This is old, guys. Almost as old as I am. If you can believe that. Let's see. Pretty good. Midterms ended and now end of year break. Nice. Enjoyed that break. Excuse me, guys. Despite how I sound, I am feeling better. Not what says, I mean, your mug is all the rage these days. It's a Stanley, right? Nah, this is just a plain old generic mug. Brian says I finished 2nd out of 10 for the regular season. So I got to sit out first round of playoffs. Waiting for my first matchup Sunday. Wow, $1,000 pot. Yeah, I guess you do need some breath work, right? A little bit of anxiety there. Hey, trust in your picks, Ryan. You made it this far, so you obviously picked right. You obviously did a good job picking. Hey, on a different topic, how are your workouts going, Ryan? So, yeah, forgiveness seems so difficult because we're trying to do it with the ego. And it is impossible for the ego to truly forgive. Here's the great news. You don't have to forgive. You turn it over to, in the language of A Course in Miracles, it would be the Holy Spirit. You don't need to call it the Holy Spirit if that doesn't sit well with you. You can call it your higher self, your greater intelligence, your connection to God. You can call it the Tao, Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Buddha consciousness. Doesn't matter. But you know there is a greater source of wisdom than your own, a greater source of compassion, a greater connection to love. You turn forgiveness over to that. There's a great phrase in A Course in Miracles that says, love is the light in which I forgive. It's often rephrased throughout the Course. God is the source in which I forgive. So you turn things over to God. I can't forgive. This is too much for me. But I want peace. I want to choose peace. So we turn it over. Let's see. Brian says, oops, I read that. Now, which says, do not see the appeal of sports. What's the point in seeing others succeed in sports? And Ryan says, seeing others succeed in general is what life's about, Nightmare. Sports can be a great source of inspiration. It shows what's possible, what can be attained through dedication and hard work towards a specific goal. And yeah, it's not for everyone, but I never ever diminish where others find joy, right? If it's something different from where I find joy, awesome, great. It just goes to show you that joy can be found in any little aspect of life. So much that I don't I don't really watch a whole lot of sports. I haven't watched football in ever. I didn't even watch football when I played football. But I get a whole lot of joy when, people are experiencing the team that they identify with are winning. Or even playing, Let's celebrate what brings other people happiness. If you can find happiness in other people's happiness, imagine how much easier life would be. Hey, Easy. I was just thinking about you because I've been talking about forgiveness, how to forgive. So I dug out an old book of mine. This is by D. Patrick Miller. D. Patrick Miller is a long-term practitioner of A Course in Miracles. He's written several books on A Course in Miracles. And this is the forgiveness book. Just over 100 pages. Ryan says, what's funny is I don't even watch the games. I just like tracking the numbers, trends, and speculating on the news bulletins. It's almost like playing the stock market, from your perspective. I liken it to exercising your intuitive skills, the feelings that we get. Is this person going to do well? Is this team going to do well? If I pick all these people and bring them together, how are they going to do? What does my intuition tell me to do? And it's a great way of tuning in to that intuitive ability that we all have. Some people do it through the stock market. Some people do it through fantasy football. Some people do it through whatever. I do it through my writing. So what I wrote about this morning. Can I sit absolutely quietly, content to sip my coffee and wait for the right words to find me? Or do I have to rush? I need to write. I only got half an hour. If I do that, nothing good ever comes of it. No good writing ever happens when I try to force it. But when I sit and I allow the words to find me, it always works. Again, I know I sound worse, but I'm actually feeling better. I've been feeling better each day, but mornings are still a little iffy. So this is a 7-step perspective on how to forgive. I think we can boil it down to one, but I want to offer this. Easy says, I know I have to forgive, but I'm not sure to who or with what intention. Cat and Jack says, what kind of writing are you doing, Eric? I write every day. I've written every day in my blog. I've written every day for 25, 26 years. And it's all whatever comes to me each morning. Sometimes it's a theme. Sometimes it's, sometimes I use it as an intuitive, almost a shamanic practice, a form of shamanism. Like if I go out for a walk and I keep seeing a certain animal that shows up. If I keep seeing a fox looking at me, I might come home and the next morning write about what does that fox mean to me? What does the appearance of a fox mean to me? Hey, Kayla. Or what a particular tree, whatever. Or if, hey, Erica, it is our friend Timo. Poop howdy, my friend. So you guys can visit my blog if you want. Or I also try to put it up on my, community page, my morning writing every day. Let me know if this works. I think this is going to show up as my blog. Nightmare says, I'm trying to learn about artificial intelligence recently. I've always liked AI, and I feel like it's the future. The only AI I dislike is AI image processors that create images of the artwork of hard-working artists. Yeah, we've talked about this before. Ryan says, do you write about your dreams? Sometimes. It depends on how, if the dream seems to have a particular message or if it's like lingering. It is worth keeping a dream journal. Buddhism psychology and Sufi psychology offers a great method of working with your dream, writing it down and then picking a word or a sentence or a theme and then free versing on that. And then taking another from what you just free verse and taking another word or theme, and you just keep going inwards and inwards and inwards. Hey, Susanna. Susanna liked. Thank you. I appreciate that. So easy. What do you forgive? Everything. Everything. You are forgiving the illusion of the world. You and I have talked about this before, that we live in an illusory world based upon our perception. If you want to get to reality, you have to forgive the perceptions. You have to forgive that which is projecting the world. Is there any fear in your life? Forgive it. Is there any grievances in your life? Forgive it. Are you blaming anyone for anything? Forgive them. Are you blaming yourself for anything or any situation? Forgive yourself. Forgiveness is a practice. It's not an end result. You don't think of it as, if I forgive this person, this will happen. Forgiveness is the thing. And as I've talked about before, the thing is the thing. Forgiveness is the means to freedom. It's the means to liberation. It's the means of awakening and enlightenment. If you want a happy, joyful life, truly so, that is free of all resentment, that is free of grievances, that is free of judgment, then you forgive. If you forgive, does that mean you don't judge anymore? Nope. It means that you judge, and yet you get to release yourself and others of your judgment. It's a tool. It's an instrument. Ramana Maharshi talked about if you have a thorn in your hand, you take another thorn and you remove it, and then you throw both thorns away. So a grievance is a thorn in the palm. Forgiveness is that tool that removes the thorn. Once you forgive, you move on until there's something else to forgive. And if you are in the world, there's always something to forgive. Let's see. Timo says, YouTube did close my channel. They took me down so they don't have to pay me. I'm sorry, Timo. Timo had a beautiful, beautiful channel. Timo still has a beautiful channel. It's on Rumble, guys, if you want to visit Timo. Easy. Are you still with me? Does that make sense? Forgive everything. And how do you forgive? There's different ways of doing it. Timo says, my lawyer says that it makes absolutely sense. But Timo, why would you think it's just not to pay you? Because they pay so many people. Easy says, I understand. I guess I just struggle with the action. I constantly forget about forgiving, and I find myself scared or upset. I lose myself in the illusion, and it's hard to reset. Forgiveness is the reset. So when you recognize that you're scared, you simply forgive it. And forgiveness is always easy and natural. Course in Miracles says it's when miracles don't occur that something has gone wrong. And a miracle is only asking for a shift of perception. So if you're scared, if you find yourself upset, if you find yourself lost within the illusion, can you ask for a miracle? And a miracle is simply saying to God or the Holy Spirit or love, can I see this situation another way? Can I choose peace instead of this? Can I choose love instead of this? And we can do that by saying, love is the light in which I forgive. If you're Christian, you could say, Jesus is the love in which I forgive. Jesus is the light in which I forgive. If you are Buddhist, you can say, Buddha is the light in which I forgive. Krishna is the light in which I forgive. That I turn this situation over to love, because love is a higher source of wisdom than my own ego. The ego will always choose chaos over peace. It will always choose grievance over love. It'll always choose judgment over peace. Always. So don't rely on the ego. If you are in fear, it's because you're identifying with the ego. If you are upset, it's because you're identifying with the ego. And that's okay. That's okay. Because now you have the tool to release yourself from the ego. And you do it continuously. Forgiveness is peace. And you can just keep forgiving. You just keep forgiving. You just keep forgiving. Hey, Roger. Roger says it's definitely better. His videos are allowed to have music over there, so they have really come together. Awesome. Yeah, I like visiting when I'm able to. I'll be honest. I don't like Rumble, but I like Optimob. Let's see. Optimob says, Timo says, every day he, the lawyer, has 100 to 700 requests about channels. They clove. The lawyer is WS Legal. They pay millions of people. It would be extremely abnormal for them to close your channel because they don't want to pay you. Thank you, Kayla. See, we got some thoughts from Night Watcher. So Timo, I know you're that Rumble, you get monetized instantly. So I hope that you're getting revenue to offset that lawyer's fee. Roger says, good morning, Eric. I had a platform there and got locked out, so I gave up. Seeing it again gives me hope, though. I just don't have time to upload videos in multiple places, but I may add a few more. I'm the same way. Several people have talked about Rumble and saying, you should go there, or I should go on TikTok. Excuse me, guys. I feel like right now I need to focus just one thing, one place. So, hey, easy. Any questions on that? I'll give you another way of forgiveness. Just 1 second. Oh, there he is. Easy says, okay, here's a scenario. Let's say I'm in the middle of suffering. Like if I were experiencing a heart attack. I'm in the middle of it. What can I do to forgive and be at peace? Well, here's the difference. When you are deeply immersed within an experience, you may or may not be able to remember to choose forgiveness, or that forgiveness is being at peace with that which is happening. The more you practice, though, the more you practice in the little things in life, the more it becomes an automatic. And it is automatic because it's reality. It's who you already are. At peace in every moment. But sometimes in those intense scenarios of fear, you simply don't remember. Practice on the little things. Practice on the little things. The big things take care of themselves. Forgiveness is another means of surrender to the experience itself. And when you surrender, you're embraced by the all-abiding presence of love. So if you're looking for a technique during a heart attack, you're not going to find one. Is there a technique of forgiveness that brings you at peace during a heart attack? No. But here's what you find. During those intense moments, there comes a natural surrender to what is. And the right action will come to you. The right action might be pick up the phone, dial 911. Ask a neighbor for help. Turn to your loved one and say, I need help. So we practice through life, and then life takes care of us, because we are nothing but life itself. Let's see. Roger says, I had to start over in a sense, as well as with them, so maybe I should not put all my eggs in one basket. Yeah, that's another way of thinking about it. It's good at least to have it up and to have that option, should you need to pivot in that direction. Kat says, easy, good question. I have a toothache. How can I find relief from the illusion? Because the illusion also offers a solution. The illusion itself offers going to the dentist, taking Tylenol, taking Advil. When the illusion offers a choice, always choose the one that's going to be helpful. Does that make sense? Timo says, at the moment, I'm really upset about YouTube and not making the, sorry, not in the mood. Hey, Vamps. Making videos. I've had so much fun being creative on this way, but all my work is gone with no strike. There should always be at least 3 strikes, right? There should always be a... Timo should have been informed that, hey, you're in jeopardy. You're in jeopardy for whatever. Good morning, Goldie. Optimum says I took channels down with over 200K subscribers. Hi, Bushka, my friend. Hey, Skeeter. Skeeter says, good morning, everyone. Cheers. Good morning, Skeeter. Hey, Timo, what's YouTube itself saying to you? Okay, they said they don't care. No, that's okay. Easy says, I'm sorry if these questions and examples are morbid or inappropriate. This is just how I'm used to talking about my Gnostic study group. And I used to be involved in very pessimistic worldview. Well, let's use the ultimate example. The ultimate example of forgiveness is Jesus on the cross. Jesus looked through the illusion of his suffering. He looked through the illusion that those who put him there were doing so, his actual words, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. He looked through the illusion and he forgave. So, how do you forgive a toothache? You realize that the toothache is occurring within the illusion of what we're experiencing. That pain, in and of itself, is just a signal for action to be taken. Pain isn't good or bad. It's just a symbol. It's just something that is happening. What do we do with it now? We take steps to bring ourselves out of pain. Let's see. Timo says, only a typical answer. Nobody checked that really. Always the same email. Easy says, the toothache affects only my illusory body, not my infinite spirit. Exactly. So on the level of form, you work with form. Explore Kenya, my friend, how are you? Kenya says, hi Eric, hope you're doing well. Thank you. I hope you are as well, my friend. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to bring up Kenya's channel. All right, guys, in just a minute, I'm going to head out and take my walk. So let me go through real quick 7 steps as presented by D. Miller in his book, The Forgiveness Book. There's other ways of doing it. This is the way he offers, and it's from the perspective of a course, but not entirely. So he says, select a bitter sorrow, a serious grievance against someone, or punishing a change against yourself. You know what? Let's skip this for now. I'll read it this afternoon. Have you guys ever heard of Ho'oponopono? It's a shamanic art of forgiveness. It is a Hawaiian art of forgiveness. They use 4 phrases. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. And you just say them. Any situation. If you have a toothache, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. Who are you saying it to? No one in particular. In this scenario, in this practice, in shamanism, we accept ultimate responsibility for everything that's occurring within our life. Why? Because we live in a participatory universe. By virtue of our witness, we are participating in a situation, whatever it is. If there is a war across the world and we are aware of it, we are part of the issue and we are part of the solution. However, we know we're not going to go there. We're not going to fight in the war. We're not going to protest against the war. So what do? We turn within to the ultimate cause of everything, and we forgive. Please forgive me. Please forgive whatever it is that is occurring within my mind that is participating in this, in whatever way, in whatever means, through whatever, please forgive me. I am sorry. I love you. Thank you. We are turning towards divinity, inspiration itself, God, as the ultimate source of healing. And we're turning it over to God. We're turning it over to divinity. Knowing that we, as an ego, are unable to affect change. So we give it to the ultimate source. We can liken it to when we wake up in the morning. There is a whiteboard with everything happening in the world. Everything that has ever occurred to us. Every grievance we have. Every resentment. Every little bit of pain. It's all written down on that whiteboard. Here's the objective for today. Can I take my magic eraser? The magic eraser is forgiveness. We forgive by saying, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. Not in any particular order. And we just keep wiping the board clean. And we wipe it clean, and we wipe it clean, and we wipe it clean. Continuously. Not because we are seeking an entirely clean whiteboard, but because we are happier. We are more at peace when we are forgiving than when we don't forgive. At the end of the day, maybe we will get an entirely clean whiteboard. When we wake up the next day, it's filled again. What do? We just wipe it clean again. We wipe it clean again. We wipe it clean again. Because we're happier when we wipe it clean. Maybe we will get ultimately enlightened. In truth, we already are. In truth, that whiteboard is always clean. Always. It's the ego that keeps accumulating all that stuff, all the writing on the board. And as long as we identify with the ego, which is going to be as long as we are in this life, or the next life, or the next life, there will always be that accumulation of stuff on the whiteboard. That's okay, because now we have the ultimate tool of forgiving. If those 4 phrases don't resonate, pick from A Course in Miracles and simply say, love is a light in which I forgive. What are we forgiving? Whatever shows up, whatever appears. I am forgiving the thought that I am merely form. I am forgiving the thought that you are the cause of my resentment. I am forgiving that there is starving children in the world. I'm forgiving the world that allows that to happen, returning to spirit, knowing that spirit is the ultimate source of all healing. If I want to end that, I could go out in the world and try to end world hunger. But as a small, limited form, how much can I do? But I can cleanse my mind of the illusion that all I am is form. All I am is a small, separate, finite point of existence. I can forgive that. And as I do, it shines a light that helps other people return back to source, and thus we heal the world. I hope that makes sense. And when I say I hope it makes sense, it doesn't mean that I hope that I've been able to explain that in a way that resonates. Cat Jack says, Optimob, try Ho'oponopono. I love Ho'oponopono. Just keep wiping the slate clean and clean and clean and clean. I'm doing some courses right now in Ho'oponopono, and I am happy to share more and more. It resonates with me in the same lines with A Course in Miracles. Just gives another tool within that ultimate toolbox. Timo says, a complete channel for a song. So as I said before, Rumble doesn't resonate well with me, but Timo resonates with me. Timo's my friend. I will keep showing up on Rumble to support my friend. Cat Jack says it made sense, and that's beautiful. Thank you. So what do we do with the toothache? We just keep wiping the slate clean. And the issue or the solution for the toothache, as we wipe clean, our lens of perception is cleared, and the solution for that comes up. Oh, Timo. Timo says, I don't want to disturb other streams. Not a problem at all. Man, my friend, you know we're here for you. We know that, I hope you know, we absolutely love you, my friend. Show up here anytime. And if there's, if you need to talk, we're here for you. We are here for you. Timo says, thank you, Eric. I will keep mentioning you and your channel. I get sent notifications on my email. So I will keep showing up for your channel. I left some comments just the other day. I will again. If there's any other way that I can help you. Timo says, at the moment, I need a break from YouTube. I have tears in my eyes. I know, my friend. It is sad. You had a beautiful channel. I still pray for a solution. We got some Jacob love. Thank you, Jacob. Okay, my friends. I'm going to head out and take a walk. We got some more hashtag Jacob love, one of my all-time favorite hashtags. Hey, Cat and Jack. I am looking forward to talking more Ho'opono with you. Right now, I'm doing a certification course in Ho'opono and TFT, in tapping, using Meridian points to release ourselves from fear, using the phrases of Ho'oponopono. I'm going to be offering it on my members channel, as well as throughout. Jacob says, have a blessed day, brother. You too, Jacob. All right. Guys, I'm going to see everyone later. Take care. Timo, sending you love, my friend. Sending you love. You and Sabine and Bax, of course.